Hi, I'm Dr. Chris Bergwald.
I'm Father Scott Trainer. You're welcome. Sorry, I forgot that at the end of our last video.
The last video where we talked about introduced meetings, but we forgot to do something in that. By the way, I'm Dr. Chris Bergwald. I think
we said
that
this.
already.
Yeah, we did that.
Welcome to this series of videos where we do things out of order, and it drives me crazy.
So in the last video, we gave this overview of the problem of meeting stew.
Yeah.
And that Pat Lencioni in The Advantage gives us a structure of meetings that really helps overcome that, okay? And we forgot to mention what those meetings are, but they are these 4 meetings: the daily stand-up meeting, the weekly team tactical meeting, ad hoc meetings, and the quarterly strategic planning meeting.
Yep.
So we are going to unpack those 4 meetings in the next this video and next 3 videos, real simple, to give you a vision of what they are and why they are so helpful for the life of your team.
Yep. So we're going to start in this video with looking at the daily check-in meeting, which is just a straightforward, basic, administrative sort of meeting. Sometimes called a Dave. I do call him Dave again. Pat describes this as a daily check-in. Some places he calls it as a daily stand-up because it's just a 5 to 10 minute. You don't need to sit down to have the meeting. You might do it. We do it, but it's supposed to be a quick 5 to 10 minute meeting about the priorities for the day. This is what. So I come to this meeting. Each one of us in the meeting on the team. This is what I think my top 3 priorities are for the day.
Right. So kind of the homework or the preparation for this meeting that lasts 5 to 10 minutes, real simple with the team, is what are the 3 things that are most important that I'm working on today that I'm trying to accomplish.
Yep.
And so we, in our team, we start with a prayer and we just go around and everyone names their top 3. Why is this helpful, right? It's helpful for a number of reasons. One of which is, as we're going around, something else may have emerged where we actually have to redirect our priorities. So, we work in the chancery. Sometimes the bishop needs a thing today, and we need to rally around and do it. So what we had planned to do today needs to be altered or reprioritized because of a direction we would be given from the bishop's office or something like that. Also, it helps us with when I hear from my different members of my team what they're prioritizing. Sometimes that triggers something like, Brenda is out in Mitchell today interviewing a candidate for a position. Oh, when you're there, can you talk to Father Cesar about this, that, or the other thing? So there's a lot of efficiencies that happen, like, since someone's doing this thing or going to be in a place today, while you're there, can you do this? And that saves so much, like, emailing back and forth and other inefficiencies. It's just very, very efficient like that. And thirdly, after we all talk about what our priorities are and we're clear about that for the day, we have a little moment we call, is there any administrivia? And Chris and I cannot say enough about the value of the daily stand-up for addressing administrivia. What are some examples of administrivia, Chris?
So, hey, did you make sure and get that meeting scheduled? We might ask, or one of the admins, hey, something came up on a Zoom call the other day. Can you talk to so-and-so about that particular thing? So just these little administrative details.
Yep. And what normally happens in teams and organizations is those administrative details, when someone thinks about them, what do? They shoot off an email,
yes.
Right? And you shoot off an email and then you have to wait to see if the person got it, and if it's going too long, you're sending a follow-up email, right? And then they're emailing you back and getting more information, and it's like, you can spend all sorts of time and energy, plus the overhead of shifting your attention from one thing to another every time you open up an email, and it's very, very inefficient. Whereas, when I know I'm having a daily stand-up with my team, what all those little details of life, I can just write them down on a list, right? Because I know in the morning, I'm going to see all these people, and any of those little answers I need to little administrivia details, administration trivial things, I can just ask in that meeting, and we can knock out what would take days
yes.
in emailing each other back and forth and clogging up our inboxes. We can just do in simple 10 minutes every morning. It is great.
And there is that discipline then of not doing it now,
Yeah.
because that's why email is so easy. I can just stash stuff. No, just make a little, either a mental note or a physical note, and I'll raise it the next morning. So along these lines, I know that for a lot of pastorate leadership teams, you might be geographically spread out from day to day. I think it's really important, Zoom, or at least by phone, to be connecting. And sometimes there's things going on where a person might be absent, but to be, again, disciplines in the habit of connecting, either, if not in person, at least digitally or by phone for this daily stand-up.
Right on.
Great. Thanks, Father.
Thanks.